community over everything. This one concept is going to completely change the way you invest, the way you build, and the way you make money inside of crypto. It's the number one reason why this cycle has led to the demise of altcoins recently and the success of meme coins. The reason why we've seen Pump Fund become one of the most profitable businesses that we've ever seen in the crypto space. One of the most useful and utility products in this space, making more revenue than some of the multi-billion-dollar layer ones out there. So, why is it that it is the community over the technology, over the use case, over the team, over the product, over all of these things that we have spent years in this space focusing our attention and our money on? Why is it that the community has decided everything? It is because we are in what is called a social economy. Now I will set the prefix or whatever they say. Excuse the spelling of today's video. But we are now in a social economy because the reason why Pump Fund made so much money, in fact I'll put an example of how much money they've made over here in most recent times according to data and statistics, but it is because they changed their Pump Fund dashboard and they allowed the comments to stay. So whenever a new token was launching, you could put underneath that, oh, the dev sold, or let's go to the moon, whatever. They turned Pump Fund into a social network, which allowed people to communicate and grow and make money. It is the reason, again, why when you look at Telegram, Telegram is what? It's a social network. Now, when we look at meme coins, why do meme coins grow? Well, it's number one, because of the community, but number two, because it's a social currency, right? You see hundreds of thousands of people speaking and talking about a project. You then see what happens to some of these tokens. Conversely, you see another token where nobody is speaking about it, nobody cares, you join the community, nobody's talking, what happens to that token? Now, both of them will probably eventually go to zero, I will say that. But one of them is going to go up 10,000x and the other one is going to go up nothing. Maybe it's not even going to reach gas pump, D-dust, or maybe it's not even going to reach a bonding curve for radium, for example. So, how do you take advantage of this? And how do you, number one, identify a good community and grow a good community? Or how do you build a good community as well? Well, luckily, recently, I have built one of the biggest community takeover projects out there on the Tom blockchain. In fact, it is in fact the biggest community takeover project. We have created a true community using these social economy factors, moving from a $5,000 market cap to an all-time high of 30 million. At the time of recording this video, over 10 million. Making some people hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in the future, hopefully, millions of dollars from this. Not from something which is a cabal, what most people call in crypto, not from something which is some insider thing. Everything was done publicly on my Twitter and also on my YouTube channel as well, documented step by step. Now, if you truly get that in your head and you truly do decide, because the first thing is belief, like the Matrix, when the man says that you choose a red pill, the blue pill, the first thing you have to do is believe. Neo, the neocortex, has to believe that he is Neo to have success. If he doesn't believe it, like the woman says, he won't make it. So you do have to actually believe that this is true. If you don't, it's tough. Hopefully by the end of this video I can convince you, but if you don't, it's tough, right? So once you believe that, right, then you have to realize the value of a meme coin is, in definition, the value of the community, of the holders, right? Because a meme coin equals a business. And it operates as such. That's why they have a valuation. That's why they have a market cap, because it's a business. That's why some of these bigger meme coins, what people call the cabal, have more success in the community, simply because they operate like a business. Now, when your community operates like a cabal, that's when it gets crazy. But I'll explain that a little bit later. And if you don't know what a cabal is, ask in the comments, somebody will tell you, or have a look in them. Now, first thing, value is the community. So if we are a social currency, right, then we're essentially valued the same way as a social network. So how do you value Facebook? You value it with the data, you value it with the users. How do you value Telegram? You value it with the data, the privacy, but also the users. How do you value YouTube? You value it by the people that are watching it, which is the YouTube viewers. And how do you value a meme coin? You value it with its users, which is its community. The bigger the community, the more money that you can make. Conversely, the smaller the community, the less money you can make. Obviously, if the community grows, you make more money. If the community cannot grow because of some of the things which I mentioned in the last video, then they will not have success. If you haven't watched that, wait till the end of this video, you'll be able to check that out too. Now, if you know that your value is in the community, and I'll give you some practical ways to find that and grow that, don't worry, then you know that the meme coin needs to run like a business to grow that community, as you can see, to grow the value so you can get rich. Okay, so how do you first of all find meme coins that operate like a business, right? Sometimes it can be hard, but sometimes it can literally be as simple as where you get your information from, right? There's private groups like Gem Hunters, for example, like the Crypto King Alpha group, or Interstellar DAO, or how many other private groups and communities out there. There's good people on Twitter that you can follow, like Crashes Clay, for example, who's non-stop providing good information and help people make money. There's so many good people that you can find and filter good information from, because you know that they know how to grow communities, which means they know how to grow value, which means it's probably going to go up. Now, does every single thing go up at the right time? No, but odds are you're going to be more likely to have success than sitting and staring through Deck Screener and all of these memes that are launching every single day and rugging, than simply looking at your information and following the steps which I've already provided here. Now, a simple way of also finding projects that operate a business is to ask them, what is their plan? What is their marketing plan? How do they plan on actually growing? Most projects, believe it or not, guys, do not understand the things which I have explained in this video. Most projects think it is as simple as just spending money and that is going to solve every problem. But as you've seen, for most actual businesses, one business can start and have loads of money. One business can start and not have loads of money, but both of them can either have success or fail. Now, money, just like your most problems in life, is not going to solve the problem. What solves a problem in crypto is focusing on this. The number one thing, guys, this. Everything. Right? Not the contract address, not the chart, not even the cabal, it's part of it. It's the community. So you want to look for projects which have a community-focused approach. Because if your project focuses on growing the community, then it grows the value. When that value grows, the money grows, because the community is bigger. Why does Dogecoin have so much success? Everybody could mine Dogecoin. So Dogecoin had the most holders, which had the biggest community, which had the biggest culture, which made the most money last cycle, right? Why does Brett have a lot of success? Because it has a good community, right? It's a crazy concept that when you've finally figured it out, you'll have a lot of success, right? So you look for projects, again, with this community-centric approach, right? So they're focusing everything on community. So as a project, if you're looking to grow your community, you simply have to focus on that said community. You have to look at your holders of the token like shareholders of that business. If you don't believe that the shareholders of your meme coin are not shareholders, so the big holders are not the holders in meme coin, then what happens when a big holder dumps? The meme coin goes to shit, bro. Right? So they are shareholders of the company. They hold as much value as the developer. That's the reason why a lot of people rely on the dev, because the dev tends to own the most tokens. But nowadays, the dev actually doesn't. The community holds most of it. Dev might hold 10% of the supply. Community might hold 90% of the supply. So who's more important, dev or the community? Well, actually, it's the community. Now you can get into the semantics in the comments, let me know. Or the dev owns this, the dev owns that. Yes, but tends to be the community which actually has most of the control over the project. That's why CTOs tend to do well. Now, when you find a project that is focused on community, you want to look for projects that do things like AMAs, and good at AMAs, a lot of them, like 3 to 4 a week. You want to find a project which has good awareness, so actually it needs to have good KOLs, to be honest. Now, KOLs, you can judge them however you want. They can't be the only focus, and your KOLs, their focus shouldn't just be on shilling. If the focus is, guys, chart looks good, we're going to the moon, I've just been paid by this project, I'm going to sell all my tokens on you, but chart looks good, then you're going to get wrecked, right? You want to focus on a project which, as a KOL, their focus is growing the community, right? KOL might be attending the AMA. You want to see them speaking and showing love to the community. If that is the focus, it's going to do well, because again, as we mentioned before, with this diagram that you might mention, right? If the community grows because of the awareness from the KOLs, it's going to do well, because we're valuing the meme coin on what? We're valuing the meme coin like a social network, so we're valuing the meme coin on the community. The next thing, okay, when we've gone through and we've filtered an everything focused approach on the community, we actually have to focus on growing people. Because this is something which a lot of people don't understand, is that when you have a community focused approach, you've got an approach on energy. That means you have an approach on having to actually sit and speak with idiots. Yes, idiots. If you haven't ever looked at the book, read the book, for example, Surrounded by Idiots, yeah, and you're the idiot, which is the craziest part, right? Not you, me, same thing. When you read the book of Surrounded by Idiots, you read it, it says everybody else is an idiot, so you're reading this book like, yeah, man, everybody else is an idiot. And at the end of the book, it's like, you're the idiot as well. It's like, oh, fuck, yeah. So you realize that it's the people, right? So what do I mean by people? You actually have to be in a community which is focused on making people better, right? Which means, yeah, just like Marcus Aurelius says, you're going to have to put up with people's stupidity a lot, right? You're going to have to put up with people coming in when the market's down and hating, and people loving you when the market's up. But in the end, it grows, right? There's a diagram that I built about PPP. If you don't know what PPP is, a whole nother video, but basically, PPP would technically, in a community, be the most trusted holders of a project. So let's say you have the people that have the most conviction, the people that are going to hold this token. They don't care whether it goes down 80%. They're not going to sell at a loss. These are people which are fully have conviction about the project. So let's say you have a new meme coin, right? This is day 5. So it's been 5 days. You've already had the dev pay for deck screener, pay for dex tools, when marketing guys, right? they've all came in and you've already had the Jeets almost leave. There's a few guys that snapped the contract, they're holding, but you get my point, right? So we have these guys here. The blue, if you can see right here, very, very small, is your PPP guys, right? Then we have your PVP guys. These are the guys that are looking for a 20-30% gain on the project. Now, these guys, by day 6 or day 7, they will jeet the whole bag, right? They will sell everything and it will bring the price down, right? So expect during this time, when having a community-focused project, when having a people project, you will see it go down. It's the reason why when you look at things like we do, you see multiple 80% dips, but then you see it go up 10 or 20x, and you see it come down 80%, then up 10 or 20x. Same thing with Pepe, same thing with SHIB, it's the same thing when you have a look at Dogecoin charts. Successful projects have multiple 80% dips because of this, but I'll tell you what happens after. What happens after is, as these guys sell out, by day 50, you see these guys increase. And now you have even stronger PPP, or you could call it a stronger floor of a project, because you have new people which have came in, new holders which have came in, joined the community, joined the AMAs, followed new KOLs or whatever. Community has grown and the project gets stronger, right? I'm telling you guys, you will not last in meme coin culture, in investment culture, or in business if you do not understand this approach. If you do not understand the approach and have an in-depth understanding of community focus, of understanding about how a floor grows in a project and how people actually develop conviction. You cannot say that you have full conviction in a project until you have watched your bags fluctuate by 50 to 80%. You have to go through it. It's the same way that you grow as a fighter. You grow by your failures. You do not grow and have success if you don't fail. So it's the same concept, but in money. You have to, quote unquote, fail and look like you have lost money even though you haven't sold, so you gain conviction. These guys will not sell ever until it's like up 100x, 1000x or whatever, right? So then you have more PVP guys come in. You have more people grow. And these guys teach these guys what to do. They come into the community. They're like, oh, well, you know, what's the narrative? Why should I hold this coin? Why should it grow? Right? The dev can't physically do all of that, right? The community has to, right? The community has to do that. Now, the final thing, which not a lot of people get, you might understand that, but you might not understand this. So congratulations if you stayed to the end, because this is the community. This is everything. It's responsibility, right? You have to make people feel responsible. It's the reason why a lot of CTOs have success and a lot of them fail. It's because if you don't give responsibility to your holders, if they do not feel more value than simply holding the token, they will not hold for a long time. People want to inherently feel valued. As a part of a human being, you want to feel responsible. It's the reason why when you get a job, you can have a shit job, be getting paid £5 an hour, but because you have the name manager in your title, you feel like you are responsible. That's the mindset trick they've been playing on you for years. You might have a job and it might say regional director. You're like, wow. And you're getting taxed 50% of your salary. It happens to all of us. You can use this technique and you can see this technique in communities. If you see a community where they have multiple moderators, where they have whale groups, where they have communities with for example, content clippers, which is one thing that we have, social media managers, where they have hundreds of people with different roles and responsibilities in the community at different tiers, making people feel of value. You know that that community and that PPP culture, or the culture of the floor, is strong, right? And that is how you build a strong foundational project. So, with that being said, guys, let me know, what's your opinion? I'm not an expert. I might not even be right. Community might not even be everything. I'm very interested to know whether you guys found value from this or value from some of the concepts. I've got a lot more concepts to share. This is like the final part of the 3rd-part series that I've just created. I'm going ahead to Singapore tomorrow, actually, and I'm going to be meeting a lot of the Ton society, the Ton community. I'm preaching about this same concept, preaching that community is the #1 focus, and this is how we should be valuing a lot of the projects, and a lot of the utility in these projects should be based on the community, not based on the quote-unquote tech, which never comes out, not based on even just focusing on a narrative, for example, but solely focused on how do we grow people, how do we give people more value, how do we give people more responsibility, how do we grow real people, because that is how we will grow meme coins and meme coin communities into the multi-billions of dollars this cycle. Thank you very much, guys. Subscribe to the channel and check out this video to have a look at another one of my tutorial mindset whiteboards, or whatever you want to call it. Peace.